Having Israel derangement syndrome has got to be so exhausting. It has to be. I know I have Graper fatigue just watching, just reading the conclusions that they jump to. I could never respect Gripers for the same reason I could never respect pro-choicers. 99% of the conversation is just getting them, forcing them to be honest about their stance. Just be honest about what they actually believe. Instead of just stating what it is that they actually believe, they play the fake empathy card, just like the abortionists, just like the pro-choicers, of the fake empathy. I am so empathetic, oh my god, there's a genocide, people are dying. And then having two arguments, and then as soon as they start getting pinned down on one, they switch to the other and pretend that that's what the argument was the entire time. It wasn't. Okay, Israel's committing war crimes. Are both sides being held to the Geneva Convention equally? Because why are Palestinians fighting in civilian clothing? Isn't that a violation of the Geneva Convention? Why can't they give us clear numbers on how many people have died? Why can't they give us any names? Why are Palestinians not allowed in Egypt? And the response is always, well, I'm not an expert on foreign affairs or war, but I am an expert on propaganda, and everything you just said is propaganda. I just know that it's really, really, really sad, and kids are dying. And that's really sad for both sides. Pick one. Are you just so empathetic and you don't know anything about anything about propaganda or a war, but you just know it's really sad? Or are you an expert on propaganda? Pick one. And then the conversation always comes down to, well, do you know what the Talmud says? Which, by the way, proves that their stance has always been about them being Jewish and not about what the government of the state of Israel is doing like they've been claiming. It's about them being Jewish. I cannot believe the amount of times I have explained what the Talmud actually is, and I'm not even Jewish. Gripers running to the Talmud and what the Talmud says is the same exact concept as pro-choicers going to, well, what about the foster care system? When they don't even know how the foster care system actually works. They don't actually care. They will never care what it actually is or what it's actually for or what they're talking about, because all they want is a card that says, I am the authority on empathy, I am so empathetic and you are not. And shows exactly where their ideas actually are. They are not concerned about a genocide. They are not concerned about children dying. They are concerned about Jews. They want to convince us that there's a freaking Jew problem. There is not a Jew problem. Jews make up 0.6% of the entire global population. 0.6%. You think they want to take over the earth? They don't want you to be a Jew. They don't want you to be a Jew. You can't convert to Judaism. You have to be born into it. There is an ideology that is a problem and makes up 1/3 of the global population and does want to force you to convert. And that's Islam. There is not a Jew problem. There's an atheism problem, there's a pagan problem, and there's an Islam problem, which stems from paganism if you understand anything about the origins of Islam. And you know why they ignore this? Because the majority of Gripers are Muslims pretending to be Catholic. That's why all the accounts are anonymous, because they are repackaging Islam fundamentals, and presenting it to vulnerable-minded Christian conservatives and pretending that it is Catholicism, pretending that it is Christianity, and pretending that it is conservatism. And what they're actually doing is taking our real values, our true values, and perverting them and twisting them into something that they're not, and pretending that those are still what our values are. That's exactly why Jesus calls us to have discernment and to separate wheat from the chaff. Because maybe they might look the same at face value, but when it gets down to it, they're not the same at all. And the best way to determine which one is true is who's willing to say what they actually mean? Who's dancing around the truth and who's just saying what they actually mean?